Hello, everyone. My name is Dee, and welcome to Yoga and How to Modify It to Suit Your Physical Needs, your spiritual needs for that matter, your emotional needs. So you can sit down on a chair or have a seat on a mat. You can do a mat practice. You could do half and half mat and half chair. I'm going to show the poses sometimes in both places, sometimes just in one. And if you're in the other position, you can think of something that would be similar that you could do, maybe just the arm movement or the leg movement that we're doing. At any rate, another thing I thought I'd mention today in class is how important it is to be comfortable in your yoga practice. My house is a little cold, so it's important for me to be warm. But yet again, when we get to moving about the middle of class, we don't want to get too hot. So we can adjust our room as we go, maybe getting up out of a pose to turn on a fan, a ceiling fan, or whatever have you. Go ahead and find a comfortable spot. If you're in a chair, go ahead and scoot those hips all the way back to the back of the seat, and then rest your spine against the supporting part of the chair. If you're seated, your legs can be in any position. Your hips can be propped up, sits bones on top of a folded towel or blanket or a block. I'm using a block under my feet in this chair position because it helps my legs feel more comfortable. I get more contact with the surface underneath my feet, which is what we want. And it's not quite the same if I am scooted all the way back in the chair like I want to be with my feet on the floor. So all of these little nuances are ways that you can make yoga your own. So let's get started closing down the eyes, hands in whatever comfortable position you have, legs comfortable, obviously. See how much of your body you can release. Obviously, if you're seated without a chair, you'll have to work harder in your core to stay erect. That means sitting straight up and down, everything in alignment. Begin to take some longer breaths, deepening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. Just sort of see how that feels. You're experiencing just a little bit of control over the breath here. Just making it a little longer than your normal breath pattern and rhythm. And we'll move into Ujjayi breath. This is a basic pranayama in yoga. It's one I really like and recommend to people, especially if you're having trouble quieting the thoughts in your head. Ujjayi breath can bring a sense of calm that then quiets the mind. Calm in the body quiets the mind. And then as the mind quiets, the body quiets even more. And so it's kind of this positive feedback loop. And we're just bringing our awareness inside of our bodies, connecting with ourselves in a way that we can't do when we're working or driving, running errands. And what we'll begin to do as you're comfortable and ready, start at any time, we'll constrict our throat and begin to narrow that passageway, letting the breath still come in and out. Those inhales and exhales keep moving. The breath is not held here, although if it's comfortable for you to insert a pause, we certainly don't shy away from that. It all depends on your level of comfort and your ability to slow down the breath. And all of us have a different connection to that and way of being comfortable with that. or not. And so we're each doing what we need, but nonetheless, working with a pranayama like Ujjayi breath, if you're not able to constrict your throat. You could do belly breath, for example, pulling the breath into the belly, expanding the stomach on the inhale as it softens, and then tightening that abdominal wall on the exhale as everything contracts. Diaphragm moves up to push all of the air out of the lungs. So good, no matter which breath you're doing, take 3 to 5 more here. And then as you're ready, set that breath aside. Let your body take over the rhythm. And maybe just take a moment to notice how your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions might be responding to this change. Did you get more calm in the body, more quiet in the mind during that process? It's always good to reflect and think about what we've just done and practiced and how that might work or not work for next time. So, continuing this breath that's more even, more balanced, a little slower, deeper than normal. Let's move into a butterfly pose from wherever we're seated. So if you're on the floor, bring your feet together. Touch your soles against one another as the knees release out and down to the side. See if you can line up your toes and your heels. And if you're in a chair, you can do the same. Again, using blocks helps. At this point, since our spine can be away from the chair, you may or may not want to use blocks. You can scooch forward, although I'd recommend staying in the middle of your chair, not coming any closer to the edge. And then let the knees release out to the side. Sit up nice and tall. And continue breathing. Maybe keep your gaze down. And if you'd like, try wiggling just your toes right here. Bending and straightening, pulling towards the shin, and then pointing away. We're not really engaging the whole bottom of the foot. The heels are still pressed together. And now let's inhale, bring our knees together, come onto the sole of both feet. Exhale, come back into butterfly. Do this even if you're on the floor, lifting your knees as much as you're able to on each inhale. Exhale, we'll lower the knees by our side. Let's do it again. And keep moving with your very own breath. Letting your body give you the cues to begin that breath and that movement at once, synchronizing both together. Next time both knees are out to the side and you're still in butterfly pose, we're going to take one leg and we're going to extend it out to the side. Think of bringing your heel to the floor, pointing the toes of that foot up towards the sky. Adjust yourself in your seat wherever you are, however you need to. And if you're on a chair, hold the bottom or back of the chair. You might even do both, okay? Let's sit up nice and tall here, pressing into the floor with the extended leg wherever it's hitting the floor, feeling connected still through the sit bones, pressing in to your prop, no matter what it is. Let's turn towards the bent knee. And we can do this one of several ways. One way is to inhale, lengthening the spine, exhale, holding onto the chair, release the chest and head and neck forward. Inhale to come back up by pressing on the feet. If it helps, bring a hand forward, press against that thigh. If you're on the floor or if you're on the chair and a little more mobile, or I don't know how to describe it, but a little more balanced and secure in the chair, you can inhale the arms in a sun breath. Exhale, bend the elbows, forward fold. Release your hands down to the floor. If you're not using your blocks under your feet, you can use them under your hands. Have them be an extension of your hands so that you're only lowering as much as you're comfortable and in control in doing so. On the next inhale, we'll lift up and then exhale the arms back down by our side. Another option is always to keep the hands in. This makes it a lot less pressure on your spine and shoulders to hold up the weight of your arms. However, if you are working on letting your body do more weight-bearing activities, then you'll want to include your arms. Just be sure that if you have blood pressure issues, you're doing the right thing for your body. Now let's turn towards the outstretched leg. We still have one knee bent. Maybe we've brought that heel closer in toward us somewhere in the process of sitting here. Let's go ahead and inhale, arms up with a sun breath. Exhale, I'm going to hold on to my chair, but extend your spine and slowly lower forward as long as you're able to keep the spine straight. Maybe you release one hand to the floor or to a block. You're getting a nice stretch in the leg. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, come back to the front. All right, let's switch hands so that the hand of the extended leg comes to the bent knee. We'll inhale to sit up nice and tall. Exhale, let's use the chair or our back hand in this forward arm against the knee to come into a twist. And let's take a few breaths here, either holding it or coming back to the original point. I'm just doing a gentle twist today. The toes of the extended leg pointing up towards the sky. Exhale, release. Bring your torso, arms, and head back around to the front. And try a twist on the opposite side. Again, inhaling first to lengthen, exhaling to twist. Kind of a different position to do these movements of the spine, releasing back to the front as you're ready. And let's come back into a butterfly pose. Sitting up nice and tall, knees relaxed, thighs relaxed and out to the sides. Take a few breaths here. Maybe your hands are holding on to your legs somewhere. Maybe they're by your side, propping you up. Maybe you're holding on underneath the chair or the back somewhere, wherever it's comfortable. On your next exhale, let's release the opposite leg. We're going to stretch it out. We're going to come to a comfortable position, making whatever adjustments we need to accommodate this side of the body, which may be totally different than the side we just worked on. You want to feel stretch in the inside and underneath the hamstrings of the thigh. And our toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. So first, let's take a couple of breaths seated nice and tall. Let's exhale now, turn towards that bent knee. We can inhale a sun breath or not. We can keep the hands really low. Exhale, release forward, find extension. Do what you need to feel supported and stable here. Best to not have your sits bones coming up off the chair. You are getting a nice stretch in the hip that you're leaning toward. All the connections with the upper leg there. And as you're ready, inhale to lift back up, flat back, supporting the spine with the abdomen. We'll exhale our arms down and we'll switch our orientation to come over that straight leg. The chest is facing the opposite side. We can inhale the arms up. Feel free to modify your yoga as you exhale, flat spine. Help yourself stay supported. You're still half butterflying over here, right? Feeling that stretch. Inhale to lift back up. Nice. Exhale to lower your hands by your side. Let's bring that foot back on in. Third butterfly here. So get yourself into a comfortable position. All right, sorry about that. Let's extend that leg again. I did not do the twist, I just realized. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's take the hand of the extended leg. We're going to place it outside of the knee. Draw the opposite hand. It's going to come behind us. Maybe hold on to the back of the chair or let the floor prop you up if you're seated on your mat. We'll inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to release, maybe taking the chin to the back shoulder. Take a deep breath. And then exhale, bring everything around to the front. Let's twist to the opposite side. Using the back of the chair, using our arm back behind us, drawing the back shoulder, opening it up behind you. Letting this side of the body towards the back really lengthen and stretch across here. Sitting up nice and tall on the inhale, exhale to twist. Taking a few breaths. Try not to hold the breath ever. And then on the next exhale, we'll release. Everything comes back to the front. Let's windshield wiper the knees, bringing the feet in front of you on the floor. Just let the knees kind of sway from side to side. Big sway, small sway, doesn't matter. All right, seated nice and tall once again. Feet, legs in any position. Let's take a few sun breaths, arms down by our side. Let the next inhale. When you're ready, lift your arms. We'll stretch towards the ceiling. Flip the palms. Exhale. Push your hands out as you lower them down. Ending your exhale with your arms by your side. Two more. At your own breath pace. Good. All right. Let's now begin at our feet. We'll start one foot at a time. We're going to point and flex and wiggle the toes. Wiggle the toes, point and flex. Do that 3 to 5 times. And then let's switch legs. Point and flex, wiggle the toes. We'll replace that leg. Switch to the opposite side. This time we draw circles with our toes. We'll go in both directions, maybe a couple times each way. And then repeat that. We'll pull that leg in, do the same on the opposite side. 2 circles, each direction, and then repeat. Excellent. Now for this part, you can stay seated or you can come up to standing. I think I'll show the seated part. That'll make more sense. Now what we want to do is draw circles with the knees. So we can take one knee at a time, standing, maybe holding on to a piece of furniture, maybe standing next to a wall, using the wall to steady yourself. And we'll draw circles the opposite way. We'll switch to the other leg. Making circles with both knees in both directions. Our next joint to work on with circles is the hips. So to do this, you do have to lift the hips up off the chair. If you're able to come to standing, go ahead and do that now. If you're not, stay seated and keep circling your knees or your ankles. All right, so what we'll do next with the hips is start to circle them around. So we're standing, we are pressing into the floor, our feet are about hip distance apart, and we're making circles with our hips. Imagine pushing your hips out, around, back and over again. And switch to the opposite side. All right. Now, go the opposite direction. I think we've done that. Now loosen the body up there. Now let's start to roll the shoulders. We're going to roll them one direction first, and then the opposite direction. Okay, good. Now, can you roll one hip and one shoulder? And go back the opposite direction. If you're seated, you can do your shoulder here. And then we'll move to the opposite side. Rolling hip and shoulder together. Okay. Switching sides. Noticing which side, which directions feel the most natural and which ones feel a little weird. All right, so next, let's move our elbows in circles. And go the opposite way. Let's begin to put one arm up, one arm down. Good, and then let's release our arms down by our side, and we'll make circles with our head. Imagine the top of your head going in a circle one way, and then the other. Going slow, being careful with this part of the spine. All right, nice, but hopefully helping the body feel really nice. Okay, either seated or standing or in a chair. You really have all three choices there. Our next flow is a chair sun salutation. All right, so we'll inhale our arms up overhead, take a sun breath to begin. Palms come together, exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, make a V with your arms, look up. Exhale, cactus hands, good. Inhale, cow. Draw the hands back, open the chest. Exhale, lower your chin, hands come together. Inhale, look forward and hands come apart. Exhale, right knee into the chest. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Sorry. Inhale, right knee into the chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee to the chest. Exhale, release. My bad. Exhale, turn to the right. Drop the right hand and lift it back behind you to come into a twist. Good. Inhale, come back to the front. Exhale, twist to this side. Inhale, back to the front and lift your arms. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, hands come up overhead in the V. Exhale, hands come to cactus. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round the spine, lower the chin, touch the palms, cat. Inhale, come back up, seated, arms out. Exhale, we can go into a forward fold. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, right knee. Inhale. Exhale, left knee. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to front. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to front. Lift arms into a V. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in between, and then we'll start one more time. So this is a chair sun salutation. Our sun is really such a bright star that lights our world and enlightens each of us. Inhale, lifting the arms into a V. Exhale, cactus hands. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release forward again. Inhale, come all the way up to seated, arms out. Exhale, one knee into the chest. Inhale. Exhale, opposite knee into the chest. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center. Lift your arms into a V. Exhale, hands to your heart. You can do whatever portion of that flow you can remember. You can do it from a standing position, but I'm going to move on and cue for a standing sun salutation. So make this your yoga by letting yourself make adjustments to make yoga your own. And I like to connect really deeply with the surface of my mat. So barefoot is the best way to do that. All right, sun salutation. From seated, repeating what we just did, or trying this out from a standing position. From mountain pose, arms at your side, shoulders relaxed and down, chin level with the floor. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, bend knees and elbows, nose dive, forward fold. Hang here for a breath or two. We're going to move really slow. Inhale, come halfway up. Straighten the legs, hands come to the legs somewhere. Exhale, release, surrender once again. Plant your hands and we'll step the left foot back. We'll come onto our toes, keep the heel in the back lifted. Let your left knee bend and float it down to the mat. Let's walk our heel and toes forward with the right foot and sink the hips towards the floor using the blocks here. Okay. Now let's release this leg. The right leg is going to come back. So in order to do that, tuck under the left leg toes, lift the left knee, and draw the right knee underneath. You can come into table and down into child's pose, or you can come into half plank or plank. So many options. Exhale, lower yourself from wherever you are all the way down to the floor so that your chest, hands, hips, knees, tops of your feet are all connecting. Hands are about under the shoulders, maybe a little wider than the shoulders apart. Inhale to come up into a cobra. Start to peel your head, neck, and chest away from the floor. And wherever you can stop is where your cobra is. So find that spot and use your stomach muscles tightening there to hold you up. Exhale to release as you're ready. Head still stays hovering here. Tuck under your toes and press on the hands. Lift the shoulders and hips up, and then tuck under the toes a little more. Press down to lift up into a downward facing dog, or come to table and then come up to a forward fold by stepping one foot forward. You can use your blocks here to press down to lift that back knee up, and then step that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, come up halfway, forward fold. Exhale, releases you again. Inhale, lifts you up. Hands come out front or up by your sides. And then hands come together as we exhale and release the thumbs to the heart. Excellent. That's half of a sun salutation. Now we'll work the other side. So from your mountain pose, close to the top of your mat, inhale your arms up over your head. Exhale, bend the elbows and knees, nose dive, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Straighten your legs, hands on legs. Exhale, release, forward fold again. Plant your hands. This time we step the right foot back. We'll inch that left foot forward as we lower that right knee, flatten the right foot. Come into a runner's lunge, stretching here for a moment. Then we can release the hips back over on top of that back knee. Draw that left foot back, coming into table or child's pose, half plank, or plank. Taking our time here to breathe. Exhaling as you're ready. Holding poses till you say to release. If you can, listen to your body. Good. Come up from here into cobra. Pressing against the floor with the bottom half of your body to lift the top half of your body. Pressing into those hands too. Exhale to release. We're going to come up to downward dog or table. And from there, we'll step first the right foot forward. And then the left. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, release into the forward fold again. Inhale, lift up, press down through your feet, up to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Prayer pose, taking a moment to breathe here. All right. You can do this next little 2 vinyasa flow. with a chair or without a chair. You can use blocks. I've maybe shown you Warrior 3 with blocks before. If not, I'll show that part next time. We're going to move from tree to Warrior 3 on our right, and then tree to Warrior 3 on our left, okay? So we're standing in front of a chair, and we can use that chair however meets our needs. I might even move it this way. It is okay to change your mind. And I always leave our standing leg the closest to the chair. So bend the opposite knee, picking up that heel off the floor. Then move as if in a rainbow arc, the knee out to the side 90 degrees, and adjust your foot so that your toes are pointing the same direction as your knees. You can stay here, okay? Then another option is to bring the foot closer, toe tap, maybe let go of the chair, stay holding on to the chair, maybe readjusting your standing leg and how the toe and heel are oriented, and come into your tree pose. All right. Releasing that leg, let the foot come down first, then bring the knee back facing the front. The toes should be in front of the body, and then pull it back in and under. You can shake the legs out. You can even come into some arm swings, arm swing twist. Lifting the back heel. That's super important for the flexibility of the upper body, to lift the back heel or opposite heel from where your arms are swinging. Let's come back to face our chair. You can face either side. This will even work for Warrior 3. And we'll hold on to the chair as we lean forward. Find your flat back. Press into both feet, hip distance apart. And as you exhale, begin to draw that right leg. It's the same leg we just did with tree, up and back. As your chest comes forward, you can adjust using no chair and blocks. Some people can have the upper body strength to not use hands at all. Some people want to keep their leg low and just maybe every once in a while lift their toes up off the mat. Whatever ability you have to weight bear, you should take the opportunity to experience. So press through your heel of that lifted leg. Exhale to lower as you're ready. You can then support yourself with the chair or the blocks or your body's muscles by engaging your core flat back as you lift back up to standing. Let's move to the opposite side with our tree. Starting at mountain, right? Letting the knee bend, lifting the back heel of the lifted knee, then opening the foot, the knee out to the side, feeling that stretch before drawing heel in. Maybe you bring the foot to the inside of the lower leg or the upper leg. Remember to stay away from using the knee. It's not secure enough. Let your exhale release your hands. And then we'll bring the knee forward, release the foot, draw the leg in. And let's turn and face the chair again, using support, finding a flat back and a mountain shape. And then using our abilities and strengths to move into a Warrior 3 pose. Pressing through the lifted left heel. Arms up and out like a T or overhead. Releasing as you're ready. Giving your body the support to lift up with a flat back away from the chair, coming back into standing. All right, so some of you may want to come right to your chair. Others of you might want to stay standing. We'll come down to the floor. We're going to do some stretches here for our cool down. Through a squat, you can also do our cool down from a chair if you'd like to stay there. So let's walk our feet a little ways apart, turn our toes out, and let's release our arms down by our side. Stand up first straight and tall here. Then inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, we're going to take a nose dive, forward fold. You can use blocks here or bend your knees enough to bring your hands down to the floor. Either one, and the blocks can really be at any height also. Now from this forward fold, you might have to get your legs in better position, but we're going to release our hips, bend our knees out to the side, and come down into a squat. And then we're going to press on our hands, come back up with the hips, let the upper body surrender in a forward fold, and we're going to go back and forth. Okay. Maybe you're inhaling to lift the hips, straighten the knees, exhaling to bend the knees, lower the hips. Going back and forth as often as is comfortable. Maybe staying in one position or the other for an extra breath to make your yoga your own and modify it in ways that work for your body. All right, let's lower our hips to the floor next time you're in a squat. And we'll come down into a supine position on our mats. All right. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, bend the right knee and place the right foot on the floor. And then on the next inhale, draw that knee in towards your chest. And hug it in as you exhale. Take a few breaths here. Releasing your hands from that right leg. Let's place the right palm on the knee and we'll start to draw circles. Circling the knee a few times in one direction and then a few times in the opposite direction. Okay, good. From here, the next time your knee goes in the circle and it's to the outside of that right space beside you, go ahead and come into a right-legged tree pose. So the right knee is the one that's bent. Left leg is the standing leg, and we're pressing through that left heel. Lengthening the left leg, turning on or firing up all the muscle tissues there. And relaxing that right knee and thigh at the same time. Take 3 breaths here. And then we'll let the next inhale move us from this tree pose into a twist. So let your next inhale lift your right knee, bring the right foot up onto the left thigh. Left hand grabs the outside of the right leg and knee, and right hip lifts up off the mat. Right arm goes out wide like a wing. And see if you can turn your chin towards the right in this one knee twist. Then take 3 breaths here. On your next exhale, bring your chin back to center. You can withdraw your right hand and arm, the left hand, right leg lifts up, the knee straightens with the right foot next to the left, back in corpse pose. On the next inhale, bend the left knee, bring the left foot to the exhale. Next inhale draws that knee into the chest. Arms wrap around the leg, or you can use your strap to wrap it around your leg here and draw it in toward you. Take a breath or two, pressing through the right leg heel, or maybe bending up through that knee if that's more comfortable for you. And then releasing all but the left hand on the knee and start to make some knee circles here. Big circles, small circles, a few each direction, slowing down, reversing as you're ready. And then the next time that knee goes out more to the left side, we'll come into a left tree pose. Here's where we'll straighten that right leg, press through the right heel, release the left knee and thigh, let it relax. Meanwhile, right leg is tense. It's as if you're standing on the floor. Hands can be anywhere and arms you'd like. Moving in yoga as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like or can. We'll come from this left tree pose into a twist by lifting the left knee. Left foot comes onto the right thigh. Right hand reaches over, left hip lifts off the mat. Left arm reaches out to the side, shoulder height. And we'll turn our neck to look over that direction too. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, we'll lift the left knee, comes up and over back to the left side. Left hip is grounded. We'll draw the left arm in, set everything back square. And from here, let's bend up through each knee. Each foot is on the floor, hip distance apart. We'll come into reclined butterfly here. We'll let the soles of the feet come together as the bent knees fall out wide. We can put blocks underneath the knees if they're handy. Relaxing the knees and the thighs. Kind of exploring maybe here, especially if you're new to yoga, where are your heels most comfortable? Close to the hips, farther away from the hips? We're all different, and so we may not look the same. I hope we don't look the same in this pose because we're all really doing what our bodies can let us do, right? All right. On your next inhale, let's release our hands underneath the legs and we'll inhale, supporting the knees as they lift up towards the ceiling. We'll come on to the sole of each foot and let's begin windshield wipering the knees. So with the feet planted on the floor, hip distance apart, let the knees rock back and forth. Windshield wipering. All right, next time your knees are straight up and down, let's draw each knee into the chest one at a time or both together, and let's hold on to both legs here. Take a breath or two in stillness and then start to rock from left to right. Rock from left to right. Good. Rock back and forth a couple more times. Next time your knees are back over your chest, inhale your feet towards the sky. Straighten your legs and start a yoga walk here. Moving your toes, the ball of your foot, your arches, your heel. Really stretching through each foot as you bend the opposite knee. All right. Hug the knees in one more time to the chest. Inhale, lifting the knees to the sky once again, and come into a wide angle here. Feet fall out to the side. Heels stay about the same. They're in line with your hips rather than pulling them up towards you or letting the heels go down. They're right over the hips, legs coming out to the side from the hips. And then let's come into either half happy baby or full happy baby, lifting your feet to the sky, knees reaching towards the armpits. And if you'd like to do another pose, let this be student choice time. Taking maybe 5 to 10 more breaths, whatever it is that you might be doing to help your body feel like it's stretched in all the right ways. And then as you're ready, begin to set yourself up for final Shavasana. Perhaps returning the using the folding it up blanket again or towel for the back of the head. Coming into corpse pose or keeping the knees bent to the sky, whichever feels best for you. Try to find a position you can totally relax in. Make yourself comfortable. Close down the eyes. Begin to be aware of your breathing once again. If you feel like doing a little ujjayi breath or some belly breathing, that's fine too. But start relaxing your feet, your toes, your arches, heels. Relax your ankles, inner ankle, outer ankle. Moving up into the lower leg, the shin muscles, the calf. Moving into the knees, relaxing and releasing, moving up to the thighs and the hamstrings, hips heavy on the floor, legs and feet heavy on the floor too. Being aware of the length of the spine from the tailbone to the brain stem. Feeling the shoulders rooted on the mat or in the chair. Feeling upper arms, elbows, lower arms released, relaxed, and heavy on the floor. Hands, fingers, palms, knuckles, wrists, comfortable. The whole body heavy and weighted here. Filling and emptying the lungs slowly, letting ourselves be in this different state between being fully awake and fully asleep. Not being afraid to allow our bodies the time and the space to release, relax, and rest. Take 3 to 5 more breaths here. And then as you're ready, begin to rock your head from left to right. Slowly waking up your body. Feeling the sensations of how the body has responded to our practice, both the pranayama and the asana, meditation. Let's bring our chin back to center and we'll make our way over onto one side. We can make our way all the way up to a seated position. Somewhere in a comfortable position for you. Releasing your arms down by your sides, sitting up nice and tall. Let's take a sun breath here to close our class together today. We'll inhale, the arms come out and up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Let's exhale once again to lower our chin towards our chest. Closing down our eyes. The light in me honors the light in each of you. On your next inhale, you can lift your chin, flutter open your eyes, release your hands. And thank you all so much for joining me in a nice practice. Hopefully you got lots of ideas of how to modify. Nice balanced practice there. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week. Take care.